Hey guys, Greg at Best Choice Trailers. Today I wanted to take you for a walk around a Neo aluminum enclosed NAMR Power Sport trailer. I wanted to take you for a walk around this because it's a 7.5 foot wide. Not historically quite as common as the 7 wides, but becoming increasingly common because of the UTVs in the marketplace. But this unit's also a new 2024. It's got a few upgrades for this model year, and then we've also got a few I'll say optional features that we throw on this. This is what we call our 7.5 by 14 NAMR UTV, because it's got 7 foot height, and we call it the deluxe because it's got a handful of additional options on it. So besides all the standard features, I want to take you for a walk around this unit and show you what we've added to it. So starting out up front, it's got a 2 5/16 inch coupler. It's got a 2,000 pound, just standard top line A-frame jack. Of course, your safety chains, breakaway cable, all that. The first thing that we're gonna see that's unique to the Neo NAMR is gonna be all Neos have this integrated frame. So basically you've got a traditional A-frame, but you got your center drawbar, and then you'll notice this all ties in. So unlike a normal trailer where a tongue comes back, it doesn't really header up or whatnot. This particular unit has all tubular cross members, all ties in, and that's another big difference you're gonna see between a steel and aluminum frame trailer. This has all tubular cross members. You notice that center drawbar ties back. That's a lot different than if you stick your head underneath a steel frame enclosed. You're gonna find you don't integrate the frame like that, and you're gonna find that there's fabricated cross members, which are not near as strong as the box tube on this. And a lot of the industry, even on aluminum, doesn't do their box tube cross members out of 2x like that. So kind of a unique trailer. I'll tell you another thing that's pretty unique about it would be a round top V-nose slant nose. So in the industry, occasionally you'll see a slant nose trailer. 99.9 times out of 100, it's gonna be a flat top. To do a round top V-nose with a slant is pretty crazy. The jig that they do these on is pretty cool. It's cool to see these being built. So that's what you got going on. You've got a round top. This also is a one-piece cove. So if you look all the way front to back on that, it's all one piece going down the side. A lot of times if you see a steel frame trailer, you'll get like diamond tread plate or a color match skin. That's all 030. A lot of times it's seamed every 8 foot. This front to back is one piece of 080s. It's about 3 times thicker, and it's one continuous piece. If we zoom in up top, Neo does a mix of TIG and MIG welds. Pretty nice and clean. Also want to point out the stone guard. So Neo builds a lot of the components that go into their trailers all in-house. It's pretty neat. One of the many things they do that kind of customizes the trailer and makes it look like a completely custom unit, even though this is all stock equipment on this trailer, would be your stone guard up front. Gives it a nice clean look. I'll go ahead and go around this side of the trailer now, show you the side door. So instead of a strap hinge door, you'll notice they've got an RV style door. So a couple things. One, you've got the RV door lock. You just push the handle. You've got a deadbolt, so you can either lock the handle from the outside or you can lock the deadbolt from the inside or the outside. I guess before I shut it, we'll show you the door hold back as well. Also aluminum, so you can keep your door open. This particular unit's going to have a pewter front with a charcoal rear. It's one of the color combos. Many years ago we had a color customer order. Thought it looked decent. We do a lot of black and silver, black and charcoal. Not many, I'll say, bad combinations on the Neos. They all look pretty sharp. Aluminum wheels, while technically not a standard feature, we do on all of our Neos. We just kind of feel an aluminum trailer needs aluminum wheels. Not only completes the look, but just in the name of the corrosion resistance of the rest of the trailer. It is screwless exterior, 030 metal, so it looks a little cleaner going down the side. That's why there's no screws going down the side of the trailer as you often would on your steel frame. The two-tone you see here is standard equipment. So there's about 10 different two-tone options. This is the one that's standard. You can get any of them, but any of the ones other than this particular one would be a pay-for option. But that two-tone you see there is standard. Of course, LED lights are standard. Brakes on both axles, all that is standard. On the 7.5 wide model, as you see here, torsion suspension is also standard. So if we look, you know, typically you can tell leaf spring trailer, you're going to have an equalizer in the middle. This one has no equalizer in the middle. So the 7.5 wides all have the Dexter torsion, or some will call it Torflex suspension. Some will call it rubberized. Very smooth, durable suspension. You see it a lot on aluminum trailers and snowmobile trailers, just because the axle components are all contained within the axle tube. So it's very, very corrosion resistant for anybody that's using a Four Seasons trailer. So I want to point out, actually, while I'm at the back, whenever we say everything's in stock that's on our website, all currently 1,800 trailers, it's all here, guys. We don't post stuff that's not all in stock. This is only part of our lot as well, so kind of hard to believe. There's about 5 rows, a couple rows back there you can't even see. Rear of the trailer, I want to show you the stabilizer jacks. They call them the Pro Stab jacks. Now, these are neat, because they're simple like that. One hand you can use them, but these can also bolt on to other brand trailers. So if you've got a steel frame trailer, you're looking for jack stands, these are ideal. I like these a lot better than the traditional swivel jack stands, because a swivel jack stand has a weak spot right where it swivels. So you pull it forward and it comes down. If you forget it's down and you drive but a couple inches, it's gone. It's bye-bye. These here are kind of neat, and to that point, that is one thing you may consider when you use jack stands, is maybe still even carrying a wood block. That way, if you're not paying attention, you forget, you drive away a little bit. You've got a little, I'll say, slip joint, whatnot, down at the bottom. You're not going to ruin them. But these are 2x2. I mean, it's pretty substantial. Most are the swivel style that I'm not a real big fan of. You can actually, on steel frame trailers, get 1.25 inches by 1.25 inches. The only thing I don't like is they go up into the rear corner post of the trailer. So these are kind of nice because they're rear mount. They also are 2x2, so they're pretty substantial. NIO's using a new style side vents. So a lot of the industry's been using side vents instead of roof vents. Side vents are nice because they're always working when you're going down the road. Roof vent, generally you would want to leave closed going down the road. Your intake is going to be opposite, so it's going to be on the driver's side front top. It's going to intake opposite your exhaust, and then it's going to exhaust out the same side as your vehicle exhaust. And it's going to cross ventilate any of your gasoline powered equipment and whatnot while you're moving. One cool new for 2024 feature would be the cableless door. This uses a new M-Tech hinge. It's really cool. I have not seen a cross section of it, but best I can kind of explain the way it works. It's kind of like a torsion axle. So it basically, as you bring the ramp door down, it's going to act kind of like your torsion axle itself as you open it. It's very durable. If you look at it, it's a whole lot more substantial of a hinge setup than what you would typically see on a cargo trailer door. We add an extra set of taillights, so you've got two stop turn tails on each side. We also add a loading light to the rear underneath your center marker there. The NXP latch is another cool setup on NIO. I'll try to show you a little better. This is a stainless steel latching mechanism they've been using now for probably 30-40 years, back even before NIO, whenever they built classic race trailers back in the 70s and 80s. Pretty cool. You can either push it with your thumb, or you can just use your palm to open it up. Generally, I'll open it a little bit and then actually just close it back or shut it so it doesn't tripod off of it. But I'm going to leave it open right now just to show you that is what is prying that door shut. So it's pretty neat. Let me latch it, or close to latch it. Well, let's latch it. Look how tight of a seal it gets. It's pretty crazy. So typically a bar lock, you're going to push in, it's going to settle back toward you and leave a little bit of a gap. This is super tight. So let's go ahead and open it again. So another thing that's kind of new, it's not for 24. I think they started this maybe middle of 23. But at the end of the ramp, it's all integrated. It's all aluminum. It's built in. So you got a built-in knife edge, nothing plywood or whatnot to worry about flipping out. So pretty neat setup. I can't remember. I think they call it Pro Edge. So you got your Pro Edge. You've got your M-Tech cableless door. So speaking of the door, you've got full width loading. So if you're familiar with most cargo trailer doors, you're going to lose about 1.5 inches, give or take, on each side. One thing with an aluminum trailer as well, you're getting tubular corner posts. So historically, your corner posts on a steel trailer are all going to be fabricated form channel. So it's going to be typically 5-inch on steel, 4 on aluminum. So you're already saving at least 1 inch on this trailer for width over a comparable steel frame. But now you've got no cables as well. Plus on this, we've got the 7.5 foot wide, and I'll get to your fender box in a second, but that's how we can tell this is 7.5 foot wide would be your fender boxes. So before I get there, let me show you one of the optional features we've added to this. Without this ramp transition, I would say for 95% of applications, you really probably don't need it. We throw it on some of the, I'll say, more deluxe units, but it's going to cover that gap. So any sort of power sport, it shouldn't really matter. Any sort of motorcycle shouldn't matter. I would say it most would be, I'll say, ideal if you got caster wheeled equipment like a band or something like that that's got little 1, 2, 3 inch dolly wheels. But that's a transition flap that's going to go from your floor to your ramp. This makes it to where there's no real transition. On the floor here, we see the L track or airline track, some will call it. Pretty neat stuff. The really cool part is this is all automated routering, so none of this is routed by hand. It's all consistent. It's all the same every time. You get a bag of clips that are going to clip down into the track, and you can tie down four-wheelers. I don't know. I'm sure we probably had guys do UTVs, bikes, dirt bikes, etc. But you can get that on Amazon, or we generally keep additional in stock if you need them. So on the walls, standard would just be bare plywood on the walls, and a bare plywood kick plate, or a scuff as Neo calls it, up 12 inches just like that. But we've upgraded the floor to Nudo. Nudo we like because it's a poly resin that's embedded into the plywood at the plywood plant. So there is no, again, human installation. No, I'll say there shouldn't be any bad Nudo. It's all commercially seamed and pressed and pinch rolled and all that good stuff. So up the sidewall, Nudo as well. So again, you can get a Nudo floor without that, and it's just going to take the wall down to the floor. But on this, we've gone ahead and done the Nudo kick plate 12 inches up the wall as well. So that's some of the upgrades. The front closet cabinet, they'll call that. So basically you got a floor to ceiling closet cabinet. It's vented, so if you want to put a battery up there and winch in whatever, a dune buggy or a broken down UTV, hopefully not, but that's all vented, so you can do that. There is also Neo puts their breakaway battery that's required by law inside. So again, that's all vented. Here would be the inside of your side flow through vent. It's going to exhaust out the rear as well. Another additional that we've added, not standard equipment, would be your 39-inch LED strip lights. Put a 4-pack of those in. Just brightens this up. Could have turned those on for you, I guess, if I'd have pulled a vehicle here, but you get the idea. You got 39 inches of LED light. Don't pull a whole lot of power. Got your switch by the side door. Side door on these is faced with aluminum too. Gives it a nice look. So back to these fenders. So typically on a 7-wide box trailer, there would be no fenders, but on a 7.5, you've got to bring the fender boxes inside. So you can tell it's a 7.5 if it's got those. A 7.5 for UTV is pretty ideal. We also sell 7-foot wides for UTVs. It's just going to be a little bit tighter. So 7.5 gives you pretty much, they're going to be almost in line with with your rear door opening, so it works out pretty good. Neo not only has tubular corners, but also a tubular header, so you get a little more headroom. We've gone plus 12-inch height on this because 6 foot standard. You're going to be somewhere around 7 foot inside height. Now, a lot of folks confuse that with through the door height. I don't have it memorized on this. We'll have a PDF in our listings of what's available online, but I believe this unit gets somewhere around 6, 8-ish through the door, because you're going to be 7 inside, and then you lose about 4 inches through the rear door opening. Again, pretty clean welds. You look around the industry, it's pretty nice stuff. And actually, that brings me to, I believe, the last optional feature on this, which would be the DRT spoiler that you see there. So it's pretty cool the way they do it. It's actually built into the trailer. If you've seen many brands do a spoiler, a lot of times it looks kind of pieced together, because literally it's an a la carte option. On this, it looks completely integrated, like it was designed to be there from the original build. And that's how Neo does stuff. Just looks really cool. So again, it's all seamed together. The spoiler's not just attached after the trailer's built. It's all built into the cove and the rear corners. So let me show you underneath the trailer real quick to show you the torsion suspension. So you don't see any leaf springs. That's because the torsion, you also see the box tube cross members, and then you also notice the floor on the underside, that's all finished. So that Nudo that I showed you, that's actually finished on the underside as well. Now it doesn't have the same finish, but it's coated on the underside as well. So you get a little extra protection underneath the trailer. Is it needed? Probably not. Haven't replaced many floors in my 13 years of being in this industry, but it is coated on the underside, which is nice. Not every, I'll say, variation of Nudo has that. In fact, I've seen probably at least half that do not have that on the underside. So don't assume just because somebody says it has Nudo that it's going to have that on it. That's kind of brand specific and supplier specific. Unit like this is going to weigh in about 1,700 pounds. It's a 7,000 GVW, so you're going to have about 5,300 pounds of legal payload left, plus your tongue weight. Got a handful of different colors you can get this in: black, silver, white, charcoal. There's probably about 10 or 15 different colors. Some of the more niche specialty colors there may be an optional charge for and would probably require a special build. If you have any questions on this or any of our other trailers, feel free to give us a ring at 717-220-4220, or you can visit us at bestchoicetrailers.com.